The Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series is at the top of the line for AMG GT sports vehicles. The Black Series model was unveiled in 2020, 6 years after Mercedes-Benz first introduced the AMG GT lineage, which now consists of 5 road-legal variants and 2 race-spec versions. With a race-inspired appearance and the most potent 4-litre V8 engine yet, the Black Series still sits at the top of the lineup. So what makes it special, and what features should we expect? Only 6 models have been released with the black moniker, and the Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series is the latest. Despite having the well-known 4-litre twin-turbo V8 as standard equipment, AMG made enough alterations to the engine to warrant a whole distinct engine code. These adjustments included altering the engine's firing order by including a flat-plane crankshaft. The AMG GT Black Series has a custom suspension and engine, making it effectively an entirely different product. Normally, we'd use earlier model years as a benchmark, but since this car differs so much from past AMG GTs, doing so would be unjust to it. The interior of the GT Black Series is attractive and practical. Despite the high-quality materials used to cover every surface, the placement of the buttons makes it clear where this car is all about. The infotainment system's touchpad is conveniently placed adjacent to the buttons for adaptive damping, traction control, rear wings, and loud exhaust. The adaptive damping adjustments have a quick access button on the steering wheel as well. This car has a fixed roof and is strictly a 2-seater. Although there is plenty of headroom, 39.5 inches, there is no information on legroom. AMG Performance heated and power-adjustable seats with memory come as standard. When operating this car to its utmost ability, you will surely require the proper body-hugging bolstering that they offer. The 2 available options for the dash and doors trim elements are made of leather or carbon fiber, and due to the broad usage of this popular material and the addition of gloss black, the interior feels more expensive than its $400,000 price tag. You can select between black exclusive Napa leather with grey stitching on the seats and the dash, or black exclusive Napa leather with orange stitching. Both options have center panels made of Dynamica faux suede, which is also used on the steering wheel. Even though the load capacity is only 10.1 cubic feet, it doesn't matter. This vehicle is not designed for a fast drive to the store or a romantic weekend away. Its sole responsibility is to race, and 10.1 cubes is more than enough space for 2 helmets and the necessary racing gear, so there isn't much storage inside. A 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, dual-zone climate control, and a garage door opener are all included as standard features. There is little to actually distract you in this automobile because it is designed entirely for the driving experience. Nevertheless, a few driver aids are available, including the legally required rear-view camera and front and rear parking sensors to prevent damage to the carbon fiber aero bodywork. Also, there is a very useful front-view camera. Rather than using the paddle shifters, you can change the drive, suspension, exhaust, and aero modes using the AMG drive unit controls instead. The 10.25-inch high-resolution display with command software is still present in the AMG GT Black Series because it belongs to an earlier generation of Mercedes-Benz. It's an optional feature, but the touchpad is more bothersome. The infotainment package is jam-packed with amenities like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth connectivity, twin USB ports, and HD radio, but the system is generally laggy and clumsy, and the menus are a little difficult to operate. Mercedes merely supplies a 100-watt 4-speaker lightweight sound system to keep things as light as possible. If you don't care as much about saving weight as Mercedes does, you can add a Burmester surround sound system for $1,300 that has 10 speakers and 640 watts of power, or a Burmester high-end 3D surround system for $4,500 that has 11 speakers and 1,000 watts of power, but many wouldn't bother. The racy instrumentation is what most are really interested in. The AMG Track Pace feature, which provides numerous telemetries, including a GPS-guided lap timer, is also run on the 10.25-inch screen. The race timer option on the digital instrument cluster also displays much of this data, providing you with sector times and lap breakdowns right before you. These elements are more significant when considering the car's intended use. The new $400,000 Black Series version of the AMG GT is battling for buyers in a class where a dual-cased engine between the driver and the rear wheels is the norm, even though most AMG GTs cost less than $200,000 and compete with a variety of front, rear and mid-engine cars. Without a doubt, the GT Black Series is one of the best performing Benz. It is the most potent road vehicle offered by the company. The AMG GT-R is a powerful vehicle, but the Black Series makeover brings this GT closer to the GT3 Racer in terms of performance. Similar severe measures apply to aerodynamics. The front end of the Black Series is covered in intakes, scoops and vents. The radiator grille is bigger and toothier, and beneath it is an expanded front diffuser that is so large that tension ties similar to those used in motorsport are needed. Both the massive rear wing and the diffuser have manually movable locations. At 155 miles per hour, the maximum downforce is greater than 880 pounds. Anti-roll bars and additional negative camber are available when aligning the suspension, which is also user adjustable. It only takes one familiarization lap to detect the Black Series' heart's gloom. Under even slight pressure, it is tough, angry and ready for battle. When the Black Series engine is fully unleashed, it typically produces strong longitudinal loadings along with a soundscape that, even when heard through the insulation of a crash helmet, almost feels painful. The Black Series turns into the quicker Lausitzring corners with the assurance that comes from having a lot of downforce, and it is reassuringly comfortable under intense braking loads. In contrast to its mid-engine competitors, however, getting it to rotate in tighter bends quickly turns out to be more difficult than anticipated. A dynamic aero flap on the wing of the 2021 Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series improves the vehicle's performance. Every last detail accelerates this car's performance and driving experience. The active aero flap's primary function is the extreme aerodynamics optimization. The aero flap is made from carbon fiber and is completely adjustable. As a result, the automobile can adjust to different track conditions. Its lower position blade is especially thin and narrow to better accept the air entering from the front of the car. The matte black carbon fiber aerofoil supports, which were designed after rigorous simulations, also improve aerodynamic performance. Moreover, the upper blade has a movable flap that can be tilted up to 20 degrees. This is done in order to accommodate the driving environment and the chosen AMG Dynamics mode, which also aids in enhancing longitudinal and transverse dynamics. The engine's need to reach top speeds and produce its maximum amount of horsepower is why the aero flap exists in the first place. As a result, we have to say that one of the Black Series' top characteristics is the aero flap. It is such a minor point, but it really does make a difference. Interestingly, the two-door car accelerates to 100 km an hour from a complete standstill in 3.2 seconds and 200 km an hour in less than 9 seconds. It can go as fast as 325 km an hour. Without a doubt, it's quite an impressive car. Its numerous outstanding and useful new features make it a desirable addition to the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT line. Anyway, what do you think of the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT Black Series? Is it worth the money? And are the features that impressive? That's all from this video. See you in the next one.